Mendeecees arrested in Mexico after explosive fight with cast member. The sun was setting over the picturesque beaches of Cancun, Mexico, casting a golden hue over the turquoise waters. The cast of the hit reality TV show Love and Hip Hop, New York had flown down for a luxurious getaway, a mix of work and play. The trip was meant to be a bonding experience, a chance to unwind and film some drama-free content for the upcoming season. But with a group as fiery and unpredictable as this, drama was never far behind. Mendeecees, known for his charm and street-smart demeanor, was enjoying the vacation with his wife, Yandy Smith-Harris, and their children. The couple had been through their fair share of ups and downs, but they were in a good place, focusing on their family and business ventures. The trip was supposed to be a celebration of their resilience and success. But tensions were brewing beneath the surface. The cast had been filming for days, and the pressure of being constantly on camera was starting to wear on everyone. Add to that the free-flowing alcohol, the sweltering heat, and the close quarters, and it was a recipe for disaster. The trouble began during a group dinner at a high-end beachfront restaurant. The cast had gathered for a lavish meal, complete with cocktails and a live band. The atmosphere was lively, with laughter and chatter filling the air. But as the night wore on, the alcohol began to take its toll. Mendeecees, who had been in a jovial mood, found himself in a heated argument with another cast member, let's call him Tyrone. Tyrone, known for his quick temper and sharp tongue, had made a snide comment about Mendeecees' past legal troubles. The remark struck a nerve, and Mendeecees, never one to back down from a challenge, fired back with a cutting retort. The exchange escalated quickly, with both men standing up from the table, their voices rising above the music. The rest of the cast tried to intervene, but it was too late. The tension had reached a boiling point, and there was no turning back. What happened next was a blur. Mendeecees and Tyrone lunged at each other, fists flying. The table was overturned, glasses shattered, and chaos erupted. The other cast members scrambled to get out of the way, while the camera crew, ever eager to capture the drama, moved in closer. The fight spilled out onto the beach, with the two men grappling in the sand. Security guards rushed to the scene, but they were no match for the raw anger and adrenaline fueling the brawl. It took several minutes and multiple guards to finally separate the two men, both of whom were bloodied and bruised. The restaurant was in shambles, and the other patrons looked on in shock. The cast was quickly whisked away by production staff, who were desperate to contain the situation. But the damage had been done. The fight had been captured on camera, and it was clear that this was going to be one of the most explosive moments in the show's history. Back at the hotel, the cast was in a state of shock. Mendeecees and Tyrone were both nursing their wounds, but the tension between them was still palpable. Yandy was furious, not just at Tyrone for provoking her husband, but at Mendeecees for letting his temper get the better of him. The production team was in crisis mode. They knew that the fight would make for great TV, but they also had to consider the legal and ethical implications. The restaurant was demanding compensation for the damages, and there was talk of pressing charges. The cast's contracts had strict clauses about behavior, and this incident was a clear violation. As the night wore on, the situation took a turn for the worse. The local police arrived at the hotel, and Mendeecees was taken into custody. The charges were serious: assault, destruction of property, and disturbing the peace. The cast was stunned. This was supposed to be a fun trip, and now one of their own was facing jail time in a foreign country. The next few days were a whirlwind of legal proceedings and frantic phone calls. Yandy, ever the savvy businesswoman, immediately contacted their lawyer and began working on a plan to get Mendeecees out of jail. The production company also stepped in, using their resources to navigate the complex Mexican legal system. The cast was divided. Some, like Yandy, were fully supportive of Mendeecees, blaming Tyrone for instigating the fight. Others, however, felt that Mendeecees had crossed a line and needed to face the consequences of his actions. The tension within the group was at an all-time high, and it was clear that this incident was going to have long-lasting repercussions. Meanwhile, Mendeecees was stuck in a Mexican jail, facing the harsh reality of his situation. He had always been a fighter, but this was a battle he couldn't win with his fists. He had to rely on his wits and the support of his loved ones to get through this. After several tense days, Mendeecees was finally released on bail. The charges were still pending, but he was allowed to return to the United States while the legal process played out. The experience had been a wake-up call for him. He realized that he needed to change his ways, not just for his own sake, but for his family. The incident also had a profound impact on the rest of the cast. They had all been forced to confront their own demons and the toxic dynamics that had been brewing within the group. The trip to Mexico, which was supposed to be a fun escape, had turned into a crucible, forcing them to face the harsh realities of their lives. In the weeks that followed, Mendeecees and Yandy worked on repairing their relationship and rebuilding their lives. They sought counseling and made a conscious effort to leave the drama behind. Mendeecees also reached out to Tyrone, offering an olive branch. The two men had a long, difficult conversation, and while they would never be friends, they agreed to put the past behind them. When the episode aired, it was a ratings bonanza. The fight was replayed over and over, and social media was ablaze with commentary. Fans were divided, with some sympathizing with Mendeecees and others condemning his actions. The incident sparked a broader conversation about the nature of reality TV and the toll it takes on its stars. For Mendeecees, the fallout was both a blessing and a curse. The incident had brought him a new level of fame, but it also came with a heavy price. He had to deal with the legal consequences, the public scrutiny, and the impact on his family. But through it all, he remained determined to turn his life around. In the end, the trip to Mexico was a turning point for Mendeecees and the rest of the cast. It was a harsh reminder of the consequences of their actions and the importance of taking responsibility for their lives. For Mendeecees, it was a chance to start anew, to leave behind the drama and focus on what truly mattered, his family and his future. As the sun set on another day in Cancun, the cast gathered for one last dinner. The atmosphere was somber, but there was also a sense of relief. They had been through hell and back, but they had come out stronger on the other side. The trip had been a disaster, but it had also been a catalyst for change. And as they raised their glasses in a toast, they knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. Because in the end, it wasn't about the drama or the fame. It was about the bonds they had formed and the lessons they had learned. And that was something no one could ever take away from them. The incident in Mexico was a wake-up call for everyone involved. It forced them to confront their own flaws and the toxic dynamics that had been brewing within the group. But it also gave them a chance to start anew, to leave behind the drama and focus on what truly mattered. For Mendeecees, the road ahead was still uncertain. He had a long legal battle ahead of him, and the public scrutiny was far from over. But he was determined to turn his life around, to be a better husband, father, and person. And with the support of his family and friends, he knew that he could overcome any obstacle. As for the rest of the cast, they too were on a journey of self-discovery. They had been through hell and back, but they had come out stronger on the other side. The trip to Mexico had been a disaster, but it had also been a catalyst for change. And as they looked to the future, they knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. Because in the end, it wasn't about the drama or the fame. It was about the bonds they had formed and the lessons they had learned. And that was something no one could ever take away from them.